welcome back. Okay, this is part 2 of the Compost Tea Brewing. So what you're looking at right now is the worm bin, and that's some carrots and other stuff from my last juice, and hopefully you can see our little friends in there. It's kind of cool in here today, so they're not moving around a whole lot, but that's not what I want to actually put into this bag that I have. I'm going to grab some of the worm compost from the other side. So what I do in my worm bin is I feed the worms on one side, and then when they eat through everything on that side, then I put the next batch of whatever I'm going to give them, usually stuff out of my juicer. I put that on the other side, and then they just all go where the food is. So this little corner right here, they've not been fed in this location for some time, so I'm just getting the compost out, and you can see that. Yeah, there's nobody's crawling around in there, so that's good. So in addition to the worm compost, normally I put alfalfa into this, and I mentioned that in the previous video. But because it's so early for me, I don't have my alfalfa yet, but I'll be getting some. So I'm just going to show you how to do this. But normally it would be the worm compost, and then I would add some alfalfa, and also I've got Thorvin kelp for animals and plants, and I've got my little computer thing rigged up on a stepladder, so that's kind of crazy. Anyway, I put a handful of the kelp in with the worm compost, and then normally, like I say, I would add alfalfa to this as well, and all these things make a really, really great tea for my plants. I'm gonna move this out of here. All right, here we go. Okay, so I've got the worm compost and some of the seaweed in this bag. I'm going to just attach the bag to the bucket, which I've already filled with water, just so it's gonna hang suspended in the water. And in addition to that, I think we talked about in the other video, unsulfured molasses, because sulfur is an antimicrobial, so you don't want to put something in the water that's going to kill the microbes that we're trying to capture for the plants. So I'm just going to add, it's probably about a tablespoon of the unsulfured molasses, and just going to mix that around in there. So it already looks a little bit like like a tea, basically. Now I'm going to turn on the bubblers, and one of the things about the fish pump things, they make these little, they prevent the water from going back. You make sure that the air flow is pointing in. So if for some reason the power went out and the water wouldn't siphon back and kill your little pump. I've also got the heater set up in here, and it's set on medium. I haven't changed it from last year, so I'm sure it's going to be fine. The water temperature around 70-75 degrees is ideal for the microbes to start populating the water. I don't know how many of y'all have swam in a creek, as a kid. There's a certain healthy smell to creek water, and when this compost tea is done, that is what it should smell like. It will have a little bit of foaminess, a little bit of bubbling on it. The warmer it is, the faster it'll go. So at this point in the house, it may not be until tomorrow, even with the heater in it, before it's actually going to be suitable to use. And I'll end up using this on my houseplants, which is why I'm using the smaller, it's some sort of frosting glaze bucket, but it's a short one. It's not the tall one I normally do if I'm trying to feed everything out in the garden. So that's basically it. The bag is hanging. The little bubblers are just next to the bag, and And I ended up using, these are actually the smaller bubblers. I've got the big stone bubbler attached to a separate pump, and it's noisy, so when it hits the floor it makes a lot of noise, and I thought it would just make too much noise for the purpose of the video, but once I'm done filming here I'll plug that one in as well. And yeah, so the microbes that are in worm compost already, anything that's gone through the digestion of a worm is going to be safer than, say, using even composted animal manures. If you choose to do this with like cow manure or goat manure, something like that, make sure it's well aged and really well composted, and that you get super agitation with your bubbler, because there are microbes in poop, obviously, and we don't want to put anaerobic microbes anywhere near our food. We only want to use aerobic microbes. And also the worm compost, like I'm saying, already has passed through the digestion of the worm, and so the pathogen things are not going to be in there. So worm compost is way safer if you're going to make compost tea than an animal manure, even if it's composted, although it can be done, and I have done it. But for beginners, maybe stick with the worm compost. Hi. Anyway, I will see you all in the next video, and yeah, I'm hoping somebody will want to try this. It's easy. You can get these parts secondhand, and you know, about the only expense really, you know, these bags at Lowe's or Home Depot, paint bags, might cost you a little bit. And if you don't have a worm composter yet, which I would really recommend you get one, watch my previous video on that. They're so easy, and if you have kids, they'll really love it. Anyway, see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye. I'll move you a little closer. See what's going on. Yep. All right. Till then, bye.